Well, with this week's storms, rescue crews all over Texas were busy saving people trapped in rising water. This is video from the Giddings Times and news of Starflight making a rescue in Lee County on Monday. This is on FM 141 north of Giddings. You can see Starflight lands on top of the car. The person inside gets out safely and the two are carried off. Another rescue Monday happened in Travis County on Bidding School Road. A man drove around the barricades, got stuck in the water. He was rescued, but then arrested by the Travis County Sheriff's Office because driving around a closed low water crossing is against the law. So here in the studio with us this morning is Kevin McDonald. He is a retired Starflight pilot, and we talked to him in the past about a book that you wrote about 20 years as a Starflight pilot, and today he's here to give us kind of an in-depth look at what it takes to really pull off these rescues. It is amazing work that you all do. I've watched it firsthand. Talk about what it took with that first video that we were looking at with the rescue in Giddings, landing on top of a car, we said?
Well, thanks, Kate. The Giddings rescue was probably, I mean, that's a classic low water crossing rescue. And the hard part is that the pilot is not able to actually see what's going on underneath the helicopter at this point. So he's totally reliant upon his crew chief to give him verbal commands. And I happen to know that the crew chief on this particular rescue was Stephen Meyer. And Steph flew as my crew chief for nearly a decade during my career at Starflight. And all the crews at Starflight, the crew chiefs and the rescuers, they're the best in the nation. This public safety stuff is right in their wheelhouse. And Steph happens to be the best of the best. So, you know, that's a classic example of him being able to take the rescuer in and put him on top of that vehicle. And it's my understanding that was actually the second person they took out of that vehicle. They had already rescued one at that point.
Well, and with the other one, with driving around low water crossings, I mean, we see that every time we have flooding. I'm sure you've seen that plenty of times too. What does that take, especially if you're kind of over an open body to water, to be able to get the person?
Well, once again, like I say, you know, the pilot can't really see what's going on down there. So it's very tough to maintain a hover. I know on this Bidding School Road rescue, I happen to know that crew. Mike Summers was the crew chief and Brian Hill was the rescuer. And I logged a lot of hours with both of those guys, and those guys are both consummate professionals.
Well, take us through what is happening, kind of what is going on in the scene that we're watching.
Well, here you can see that the crew chief is, he's actually lowering, this is Mike, he's lowering Brian down to the victim. And he's having to do that, and he's also giving verbal commands to the pilot. The pilot was Chuck Spangler, and I flew on Chuck's wing back when we were making night drops on the Steiner Ranch fire back in 2011. Chuck is a really good pilot, and not only that, he carries about a 3 handicap on the golf course. He's one of those guys who's just good at everything. He's good at everything he does.
Doing all this.
Yeah.
Well, and
what's the hand-eye coordination?
Well, we only have a couple seconds left, but what is the most challenging part of that job?
I think it's being able to trust your crew chief. And fortunately, Starflight, like I say, this is, you know, in their wheelhouse. We have the best people in the nation, and so therefore it's easier for the pilot, you know, to have the faith and trust in his crew members that he needs to be able to pull this stuff off. And you know, and now that I'm no longer an employee, and I'm a Travis County taxpayer, you know, I realize how fortunate we are in this county to have these guys at the other end of our cell phones when we make that 911 call.
You guys do amazing work. Well, we appreciate you coming in to tell us a little bit about those
Sure.
rescues. We certainly appreciate it.